So Keith, what industries do you see growing right now, and why is that? And then I think the next step would be, how do you see that playing out in job posting data?
Well, we're watching job postings data very closely in specific markets as well as across the nation. And we've identified a number of industries that are seeing strong job postings right now in the midst of the pandemic. Some of those are unsurprising, like logistics, shipping, and delivery services, as well as hospitals and healthcare, which includes home healthcare. So those are not particularly surprising given the current environment. We're also seeing growth in general merchandise, or what I call necessity retail, as well as computer programming, software development, and internet security industries. So those are all fields that are seeing growth right now over the past 60 days in, in the midst of this pandemic. We're also seeing growth in banking, online retail and marketing, and insurance companies. And one of the things that I think is interesting about some of those is those are industries that I think had already proven the ability to do some of their work and get a lot of productivity out of people working remotely or working from home. And so, in that sense, they have not been disrupted by the pandemic. They are just continuing to move in that direction, and people having to work from isolated locations around the country don't interfere with the productivity of those teams.
It sounds like some of these are growing because of the pandemic, and some of them are in spite of the pandemic. Would you say that's true?
I think that's fair. Maybe more than in spite of, I might say without regard to.
Mm.
Um, I think it's clear that healthcare and necessity retail and some of these other delivery and logistics are growing because of the pandemic. But in other cases, software development, computer programming, online retail, I think these areas have already been seeing um, worker growth, but that has probably been enhanced by the pandemic, by the need for people to work from home, to have secure locations at their home from which to do what may be sensitive work in some cases. There's certainly been an increase in ordering from home. If you look at the growth of e-commerce sales over the past 10 weeks, those sales have risen at an exponential level far beyond what we've seen over the past 10 years. So some of these growth curves, I think, have just been accelerated.
Mm.
And then I'm not sure we would have seen this level of growth in healthcare without the pandemic.